And I remember too that the way the we me and Dwayne decided one day
Oh God.
to take a stand.
Shut up.
Because we were like, $5 is beyond absurd. This is the stupidest, craziest thing ever. But there's no other way. We're like, just what other opportunities do you have?
Well,
right?
how old were you? Like 10?
Fucking what? You know, like so.
What do you got?
So
Unless it's summertime, you're not mowing lawns.
So we basically just said, all right, we've been talking about it, and we're like, you know what, man, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. Let's go and tell her. And we're just like, listen, miss, at the end of the day, like, we're coming in here, and sometimes we're doing, like, you guys are having, like, extra large events where there's way more dishes in a given day.
Yeah.
And we're doing these all for $1 a day.
Yeah.
And we're doing these all for like $5 at the end of the week and we think that our time and our efforts should be worth more than that.
Absolutely.
So we both here are saying that we are demanding a raise.
Okay.
And we're demanding a raise, and we want to, and we didn't want to say what number because we wanted to.
No, you always let them set the number.
Exactly. You know, and so they're like, we're demanding a raise, and like, it's just, it wouldn't be worth our time otherwise.
Right.
And she was like, okay, kids, thanks for all your help. Take care.
Like that.
And I was like, okay.
So the problem with that is that you learned quite easily is that if supply outstrips demand,
Gee, where can I find two kids?
two dumb kids
in the school.
Yeah. Of thousands. Oops. Whatever, man. That's not.
walked.
That was not a good use of your time.
We walked. We
Yeah.
walked for what it's worth.
You were principled and you left.
Learned the good old capitalist
You
ways.
shot your shot.
Shot my shot.
Yeah.
I learned the ways of capitalism that day.
Mm-hmm.
Not too long after, I traded in that copy of Star Fox and got the toonie and the loony and went, fuck me. That's how it go. And yeah, I got $3 for start trading in Star Fox. And I just thought about all the memories I had playing the game and how good it was as I was handing it over. And then I got a bag of chips and a Coke out of it. And I went, fuck all of this.
That was not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be something when I grow up.
Dude, like, this was trying to make money in a time, because it was also an era where I was like, basically, it was like my mom was not going to give us was not giving allowance at that point.
Yeah.
And so we just had to figure it out, and it was fucking rough. And like that's what led to the bullshit, like the stories I told about, like the fucking kid with the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
You know, where just like you had to fight to get at this truck, and whoever could physically make it to it by the time they opened up was like, all right, you got it for the day. It's your truck.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Not a great situation for kids trying to figure
I
out
shoveled
how to
snow, and looking back, it wasn't
something.
worth it. Shoveling snow as like a 10-year-old, it's like your entire day, like it's only on the weekends, right? Your entire day is gone. How much did I make? $15, and my back sucks.
Yeah.
And it's weird as a kid to have your back suck. I'm like, yeah, I should have just not done that.
Yep. I remember when my dad thought he'd teach us the value of the dollar by having
Go fuck yourself, whatever.
by having my me, my brother, and cousins, like the Rat Pack household. He got us all to go out into the backyard and pick dandelions out by the roots,
Okay.
basically to deroot the yard. And he said he was going to give us a wholesome dime for every dandelion picked. And
Okay, depending how much are out there.
and you fill a bag up with these big ass fucking dandelions, and you're like, yeah, bam, there it is. And then you count them up, and it's like, cool, here's $1.50.
Yeah.
Here's two for like what is an evening of work. And it's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
This is done.
Good.
This is done.
Good, yes. Learn.
Yeah. Like, where are the Foxconn nets being set up in my backyard for this level of absolute fucking horseshit?
When you're an adult, you can trick kids into doing all sorts of stupid shit for low pay.
It's bullshit because
Right?
we have no options.
Well, it's not that they don't even have any options. They don't have the fucking experience in the workforce.
yeah.
To know that a minimum wage exists.
Yeah.
Also, if I had to pay myself in the past the minimum wage to mow the lawn,
Yeah.
I would have just done it my fucking self.
Right. I guess by the time I was actually like of age where I was allowed to get a job, I probably had worked 5, but they were all this type of horse shit.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
I had one incredibly lucrative job ever. Like, it was the most lucrative job I ever did until YouTube. And that was, I convinced my dad to go halvesies with me on a CD burner. And then I spent 2 years, my last 2 years of high school, lending copies of StarCraft to my closest friends.
Wow.
Lending about 200 copies of StarCraft to my closest friends.
Wow.
And lending copies of Final Fantasy IX to about 100 of my closest friends. And because the FF9 takes extra discs and I have to spend the extra time burning them, the disc costs like $1. So I guess I'm going to charge like $2 per disc.
Oh, there was no spools back then.
No.
You had to get the individually wrapped cases.
Yeah, so I would have to charge like an extra couple bucks per disc.
Yeah. Don't take a trip up to Frosty's, whatever you do.
Don't fucking do that. Don't go down to Frosty's where there's no tax and no one gives a shit. On the Kanawha Reserve.
Yeah.
Just barely on that reserve so that it counts.
No tax. Yeah. So I had a similar hustle that I was able to run that, again, the most lucrative of all of these endeavors for me was my self-propelled entrepreneurship.
Yes.
My vehicle into lugging a 24 case of cola to my locker.
Yeah.
And selling sodas out of my locker.
All right, Randy.
Yeah. Because straight up, there were no vending machines in my school.
Yeah, I can't have vending machines in the schools. It'll make the kids fat.
Yeah, no vending machines in my school, and they did not sell like anything besides like water, juice, milk, type of thing. So soda was at a premium.
Yeah.
And guess who wants fucking soda?
Kids.
Everybody.
Yeah, you're
at
right.
recess. Everybody. So I made like, it was quite simple. I'm like, hey mom, can you, next time we do the grocery run, can you get me a case of the mix? You get the mix with the root beer on one side, the crush, the cream soda, all that, whatever, the variety pack.
Yeah.
And then I'm lugging that to my locker, and that was fucking good.
Yeah.
That worked out nice. And of course,
what kind of premium you charge on that?
$1.
Okay.
$1, but it was
per day. per a dollar per item per day.
Per item per day.
Yeah.
And what would end up happening is, in a lot of cases, people would open up a tab, and I'd have no problem with that.
That's good.
So people would come by at recess, being like, "Yo, can I get one?" I'm like, "Yeah." And tab you up.
Just gonna write it down.
Can I get one at lunch? Yeah. Got you.
Yeah,
tab it up, and then come Friday,
and then you own them.
Yeah. Come Friday, that's a fucking healthy.
Were you always like a tall? Like, you played football in high school, right?
I played football.
So you didn't have any trouble getting your shit back?
No.
No. I'm not saying that you used your size to either intimidate or acquire.
No.
I'm saying you were a larger child, so that people would go, I don't want to owe the larger child money.
I did not have any issues getting what I was owed. What I did have issues with was our school provided us with these fucking blue locks. And these fucking blue locks were the kind where all you have to do is take them, hold them sideways, right? So you imagine if your locker is hanging with a lock on it, right?
Yeah,
take
a combination lock.
Combination lock, right? You take it and then rotate it so that the combination is facing the sky.
Yeah.
Now turn it so that it is facing, like once it's facing the sky, you pull on the locker handle so that it tightens up and stays there.
Yeah.
And then you rotate it to the right. You understand? So now it's facing the sky, and the right side of the combination lock is touching the door of the locker.
Yeah.
Now you're pulling the locker door so that it is taut against it. You take another one of those lockers, smack it right on the left side that's facing you. That shit goes open fucking like nothing.
You know what's funny is that's really hilarious. We didn't have those locks. We had the shittiest master lock locks money could buy. And the funniest thing about the shittiest master lock locks money could buy back in '97 is that you didn't have to do that. You just took your shoe off and then hit it once.
Wow.
And it opened.
So yeah.
And you're like, why? And so the thing that people would do is they wouldn't go into your locker. They would just take their shoe off, smash it, and then put the lock backwards and upside down so that it would be a massive pain in the ass to open legitimately.
Yes. Yes.
And that's it.
Now, this was post Lost Game Boy. So I already had this data and was a fool, right? But I just didn't anyway.
Theft exists.
So you come back to the locker and what the fuck? A bunch of drinks are missing, right? And then I'm like, okay.
All right.
Let's see who's drinking soda today.
Yeah.
You know? And I didn't see anyone on that floor drinking soda, but I did see a spilled can down by the calf. And I'm like, there's only like, so whoever had it went and drank it down there
and then ran
away from me. And then, so that, and I'm like,
smart.
And that shit happened. And like the first time they did it, they just took one or two, so I didn't even notice the dip.
Yeah.
And then by the third time, bold. It was like, oh, you now you're feeling yourself.
It blows me away.
So that was the problem. It wasn't direct not paying me back. It was the fucking break-in.
You know what blows me away? We had cameras in the hallways of my high school.
Yeah.
To down the long ass hallways and down all the hallways that had lockers in them had a camera pointing down. I don't think they were ever used once to determine who robbed somebody's locker.
Ever, yeah.
And all anyone could ever think of, because it was common, is you would go to the principal or the security guard, the one guy they have that's like halftime, a maintenance man, halftime security guy, and be like, "Can you just check the camera? It was
it's right there.
It was 10 minutes ago."
Yeah. And they fucking refuse.
And they go, no, I can't do that.
And exactly. So a lot of the times you'd get answers like that. You get answers like to the effects of, we can't, right? And when my fucking, so I got my Game Boy stolen, got no help on that. I got my fucking my Zelda money stolen, got no help on that, right? So it just became these cameras don't work. This is just a lie. And then when dude we knew got expelled, actually got kicked out of our school because he got caught getting a blowjob around the corner somewhere.
Right.
And then they had the footage of that they were able to show to from him. Like, oh, these cameras do work.
Yeah, they do work.
They just refuse to turn them on for anything or to use or get the footage for anything, I suppose, unless it goes
what
into
are we going to do? Help every kid that has a problem?
Yeah. Clearly.
Do you remember when my fucking...
Let's pull this illegal, now basically child porn.
Do you remember when my DS got lifted out of my pocket in Alexis Neon?
When was that?
That was, we were in college, and I was on my break, and it was, I'd say 2004. And I was playing Ace Attorney at the time. It was like the week after I got Ace Attorney. You remember I was being an asshole yelling objection in the fucking club space?
Yeah, okay.
I got my fucking DS Lite lifted out of my pocket, out of my coat pocket while I was eating lunch. And I noticed it relatively fast because I almost finished lunch and I'm like, oh shit. So I ran into the security office, which they have at the Alexis Neon. I'm like, dude, somebody just lifted my DS. It's worth like $200. They're probably still here. Mm-hmm. Can you just check the camera and then you guys can go get them? It's like, no, I can't do that without a police report. I'm like, no, I'm not asking to see it. I don't care. But can you look and go? Can't do that without a police report. So what are you here for?
To collect a paycheck. Yeah.
But
you could
do your job.
Like,
just do it.
If this happened to you, would you not want to stop the
Of course.
But no, doesn't matter. Fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah. The security in that building was so fucking bad because that's the grocery store where I used to work. Was in that building. Yeah. They were so fucking awful that we had to call the cops half the time for shit that the security in the building was supposed to be able to do, which was usually eject ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, no, we're not doing that. And you're like, what?
Yeah, I'm here to laugh at you.
All right.
This is
all right, you people are awful. Everything about that area was fucking weird. You remember when I found a shotgun shell on the fucking pavement? I found it was right out front. You know where the coffee shop was, the one that faces the metro. Fucking shell, just right there on the pavement by itself. I picked it up. I'm like, oh, this is a real shotgun shell. Okay, and then I'm like, wait, the fuck do I do with this?
Yeah, yeah. We live in French Canada, bro.
Yeah, what?
That shouldn't be.
So I ended up taking it to that same security office, and they went, what the fuck do you want me to do with this? And I went, I don't know. It's your problem now.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Now, I know to our American audiences, this may not sound shocking to find ammunition on the ground, but I don't. That is rare.
It is an extremely uncommon occurrence, probably indicative of something nefarious.
Yeah.
If that were to happen here,
because the Garda guys, those guys that come in to get the safes and shit, they don't carry shotguns.
No, they carry gigantic like
pistols.
Right? Yeah, that's what they have.
Like, so who's walking around downtown Montreal with a shotgun?
Yeah.
Who's getting out of their car in a hunting trip and going, yeah, what the fuck?
Opening it.
Yeah, and there's loose shells.
Right. Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I like that. I remember my brother told me about when he almost accidentally crossed paths with a Garda refill that was happening.
I don't
like a
care
bank
for
machine.
them. They're twitchy.
And like he had his headphones in and he just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And like so he just walked past the barrier point.
Yeah.
And then like was kind of just not paying attention until he came face to face with someone going, he heard like, and he was like, whatever. And then he's like, what? And he looks up and the dude's like, you stop. And he has his hand out like this, other hand on the weapon.
Yeah.
Guy who's at the machine is paused, right? And like he's like, what? Huh? What? And just like the full-on daydream type of thing. And it's just like, are you about to die? You know?
Yeah.
Like type of, and it's like, okay.
Those guys were really jumpy. Like the instant they walk out of that car, they seem terrified. They seem terrified in the business that they're taking the safe out of. And you're like, what? Somebody's gonna jump you because they would come to the store, and you're like, they're gonna jump you in the store.
Well, it's
what the fuck you expect?
It's PMC behavior, right?
Yeah,
it's a bit. It's not exactly the same as like the.
They're not cops.
They're not cops. They're not cops. They're guards. But it's private military behavior where you're on the extra jump to be like extra.
Now, granted, they were carrying around very significant sums of cash.
Certainly, and they clearly do have the right to do what is necessary to defend that.
Yeah.
You know, however, like there is a twitchiness in general. There is a bit of
a the day. Is today the day, Woolie? Like, you know, that's what they're thinking of every time they get out of bed.
Or was it? I forgot. It's a gift from so long ago. But is it like someone opens a door and sees a bunch of clowns? And then they stop and then turn and slowly look at the person. And then the person closes the door. Does that ring a bell?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's like, okay, whatever. It's just one of those things where it's like, they're very much like if you are in that area, if you are all even trying to cross the street or whatever, the Garda people are like, you are Z-targeted right now.
Yeah.
You can tell when it's active and when it's not, you know? Anyway.
Getting thefted sucks.
Not good. Not good. I had a question
hustling is good though.
I had a question from way back at the beginning of the conversation.
What a terrible lesson the adults in our school system taught us.
Exploit the kids.
Don't work hard at a real job. Either invent your own or get on the hustle if you want to make any money. What a terrible lesson.
Well,
that teacher set you up to sell those sodas.
So here's the thing, right? While you're learning how to be a productive member of society in school, the real secret lesson is what they show you along the way with behavior.
Yeah.
And that soda trek was like,
there's a bunch of little middle spots in this system that I can just get
the
a dollar.
You find the holes and it works out. And that was lucrative as fuck, like I said. Especially when kids who did have a much larger allowance than me would just kind of come over and be like, okay, so that was this week. Here's your 10, and I'll be like, fuck yeah, off of one person. But anyway, that lock thing,
outrageous.
Yeah, after catching that's when you switch to You know the spherical bad boys that are underneath the arcade cabinets?
Yeah.
Those fat fuckers. We get one of those bitches up on the locker, and it's like, yeah, you know what? This is going to be a pain in the ass for me to open every time because the thickness of the bar barely fits through my locker hole, but you are not getting in there.
No, we're just getting in.
And that solved that problem nice and quick.
You weren't allowed to bring your own custom lock at my school.
Oh, fuck you.
And then everyone's like, why do we even have locks then?
Yeah.
What is the actual
we
point
need
here?
the school needs to be able to break in if need be.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Fuck
and
you.
it's like they never caught anyone searching their locker. Nobody who was pulling dirt was stupid enough to put it in their fucking locker that anyone could get into and steal from. Like,
yeah. You know what else I learned too? I learned about the hustle that comes from the kid a few lockers down buying his cans of pop.
Yeah.
And bringing them to be like, hey, yo, who wants a can of soda for 75 cents?
Are you serious?
Who wants a can of soda for 75 cents? Like, Gavin, you son of a bitch!
This is my racket.
How dare you!
This is my racket, god damn it.
You coming in on my turf? Yo.
Don't you have the decency to go to the other side of the school?
Yo, this is my corner.
Oh, this is bullshit.
This is my corner. He rolled in with his own fucking case,
fucking
right?
bullshit.
But you know what he didn't have? He didn't have the variety.
Oh my god!
He just bought the small 12 case, right? I was rolling the 24s in with the variety. And this motherfucker was rolling in with the 12s of just default Coke.
Oh, give me a break.
Right? Coming in with just that.
Like, I'll get a default Coke for 75 cents, but like...
And he did not have what it took to carry that giant thing on the bus to school on a regular basis.
Oh, so he didn't always have it?
He didn't. No, it was just work to carry it in. He was like, ah, fuck that.
Dumbass.
I was bringing my fucking
If you're
I was
gonna
doing
hustle,
the work.
you gotta hustle, man.
That's what the pay is for.
Yeah.
The struggle of getting it to the school is why you're making the money.
That's the human labor that equal the money.
But he stepped into the market. I remember. You learn so much more outside of class. You learn so much more about the way the world works, you know? And that was a situation where it's like, okay, at that point, what do I do? Do I drop to 75?
No.
Do I move? Do I budge? Do I intimidate? Right? What do I? And it's just like, I'm like, I see what you're trying to do here. Okay, bro. Right?
Do you just like buy out his 75 cent?
I mean, at that point, no, not necessarily,
not
right? And he was a friend.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's okay. I see what, and it's like, hey, man, we gotta eat, right?
You offer to do him a favor so that he does it, so that he makes it go away.
I offer a better product.
Oh yeah, you just offer a better product.
I offer you variety on a day-to-day basis, consistency. Because guess what? Oh, what's that? He didn't bring the Coke this week. Oh well, who did?
People, this conversation is going to be wild to listen to half attentively.
Perhaps, yes. But he didn't bring it this week because he didn't have the wherewithal. Yeah. I did. And I got 4 choices for you. What, you want your grape soda?
I would like a grape soda.
I got your grape soda hookup right here. You know what it is every time.
I mean, I had a tropical punch monster, but I would have preferred a grape monster.
The problem with it, of course, was not many people are fans of cream soda.
Yeah.
So
cream
that
soda
thing,
sucks ass.
cream soda didn't move.
Yeah.
But the others did.
Yeah. So you just don't buy extra cream sodas. You just leave them.
I mean, you'd always have a bunch of cream sodas left at the end, and I'd bring those home, and it was what it was. It was what it was. It was a pack of...
What, you're eating your own supply of cream soda?
No, they weren't moving.
Yeah, they weren't moving.
What are you going to do, you know? What I probably should have done was sold them cheaper.
Yeah.
I should have been moving those for 50 cents.
50 cents. And then people who didn't have the dollar would be like, fuck, I'll take a cream soda.
Yeah. Or you get 2 for $1.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you do something with it. You got to get a move. But I didn't, at the time, you know, we were just figuring it out on our own. But that's how it worked, man. That's how it worked. See, at a certain point, of course, I imagine everybody's enjoying their copies of StarCraft.
At my school, nobody had the amount of money they needed to actually play the games they wanted to play. Nobody. I didn't either. So, you would lend to your friends quite often.
Yeah.
That era of StarCraft pre-CD key required for online play was the fucking absolute like...
You never really went over to Shamedy for any reason, did you?
Shamedy? No, I don't.
Okay.
I barely even know where that is.
It's in Laval. Cause,
fuck Laval.
Because, I grew up in Laval, but... fuck Laval.
Yeah.
But we had our shopping center with Oz in it, and Oz was the only video game rental store that still rented PC games.
Wow! That's crazy.
A long time. Like, literally, I think they stopped in, like, the aughts.
That's crazy.
Where they would rent out a bunch of shit, right? Super Video Schwa shut down.
Yeah.
Videotron shut down.
Yeah.
Blockbusters were starting to move on in by the time, but that was way after I had left. But Oz would rent out PC games.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's fucking actually
so... You fucking infer what you need to
from
that information, and they didn't fucking care. They were making their money. But it was really just like, okay, is this what you want to... Yeah.
Sure, fuck it.
So, like, you combine a little bit of that with
the guys at my local microplay were quite aware of the hustle that was ongoing with the 10, 15 to 20-year-olds that would rent a dozen PS2 games for them for one day.
Yes.
And then come back with all of those PS2 games and go, thanks, man. They got it.
Yeah.
They didn't care because rentals were high.
Yeah.
Rentals were fucking high at that microplay.
It was really weird watching so we had the microplay near us where there was a microplay, there was Cosmic's comic shop, and then there was the Mira arcade, right? Mm-hmm. And there was also like another comic shop up the street. And these businesses all like they kept grass is greener theory applying in droves, because the microplay is like, okay, these kids going up the street, they're going in and they're paying a bunch of quarters into these arcade machines. Those people are making out like bandits.
Yeah.
We need to put consoles in and charge $2 for half an hour to play any console.
That's a terrible rate. But
well, that's what they did.
That's bad for them.
And they put in 3 setups, and people came and played.
Yeah.
People came and played instead of going to the arcade. They did that, right? And then fucking comic shop up the street is like, how about you come check out our consoles, and you can get $5 for an hour.
That's crazy,
right?
And you watch them all drive each other into the dirt.
But you can switch games up as much as you want.
Oh shit!
So you can switch games up, and you can play with your friends together because it's the console. It's not one player, right? And you're like, oh, okay. And like they started implementing that, and then suddenly Microplay is like, yo, these comic guys are fucking. They're making bank on these Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
We got to start rolling, and they start clearing out shelf space.
Oh my god!
And putting cards up, and start. You know what I mean? And then you just
everyone
start seeing,
becomes the same shitty
because
store.
they all think that they're making bank on these other things, and you're like, what are you?
I just perused a comment that showed up in the chat that cracked me up, which was a fellow hustler that in their high school experience went to the store, bought League of Legends currency cards, and then would sell them to their classmates at enormous markups because those kids didn't have credit cards.
Okay.
Because you need a credit card to buy in-game currency.
Yeah. I feel like that would still work for any.
Hey man, you want an iPhone game?
Anything that needs a credit card to get your fucking.
Hey man, I'll buy it for you, but you'll have to pay me twice as much.
Yeah.
Dad, can I use your credit card? I will pay you back with interest. Really? Okay. Whatever, hustler kid.
You gotta work within the framework you're given.
What do you got? What can you use?
That being said, if you're not creating a tech startup in grade 9, what's the fucking point of you?
I don't know.
Just, you've already failed, if you're not talking to Silicon Valley. So, the bar is a little bit higher. But at the time, that taught me the value of the dollar.
I turned the fact that I was too poor to buy video games into the ability to buy a high-end PC around Diablo 2's launch. Well, I'm too poor. I can't play video games. What am I going to do? I'll figure it out somehow.
Fuck picking dandelions. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. The
real alpha move would have been to get your soda money, and then when your dad offers you the fucking dandelion shit again, you fucking pay somebody garbage to do the dandelion shit for you.
That would have been hilarious. He was long gone by then.
That's depressing.
If the time, but what are you gonna do? It's the timeline. But if the timelines lined up, that certainly would have been interesting. I wouldn't have minded it.